Skin Phillips.
How are we?
Good. How are you?
Fucking good. Bit early. Barry, I haven't been here for a while.
Yeah.
Bit early in the morning, but it's good.
Nice. Thanks for coming, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Much appreciated.
So, like all good podcasts, let's start at the beginning. Where were you born? Where were you brought up?
Born in Swansea, 64. So grew up in 60s Swansea, and then kind of like the 70s kid. That's kind of how I got into skateboarding back in Swansea with going to waves every weekend with the old man, going down the Gower. Skateboarding happened in the 60s in Swansea. And that's how I got into skateboard photography and surfing and all that, like from living in Swansea, but living in town, not in Langland or like on the side, just like growing up. Football kid, did all that when I was a kid, didn't really get on in school.
Yeah.
Did a bit of, naughtiness when I was little, usual fucking story. And ended up kind of getting a shop when I was 15. And then
Where'd you go? Did you go to juvie or something?
EC I went to, detention centre. Too young for Borstal. It would have been Borstal, but it was 14. So it was DC and Gloucester, which was like, much like a Borstal. That was a fucking...
I've been to Gloucester jail.
It's a fucking shock.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. But I only did like 3 weeks. I came out after an appeal. It was like 6 months originally. So I went out for burglary. And then, it was just awful. Like just kiddie being in a big man's jail, really, you know what I mean? Like shed a cell with a guy from Birmingham, was in for like armed robbery, like all this, when all the big skinhead movement was going on, and I was just fucking way out of my depths as a kid. But after that, I didn't, minor things, but I didn't really get into trouble, so I knew I'd be back inside pretty much straight away. It was all suspended sentences there, wasn't it? And then it all cleared. Then I got cleared. If you stay clean till 18, it gets permanently taken off your record. So everything got cleared. So I had luckily then when I went to America later on, no offenses were on the record. So I stayed clear of everything like that, And then I got into surfing and skateboarding. So that sort of kept me away from the town. Didn't really go to the football that much anymore. Went, but didn't really go like I used to go as a kid, and sort of stayed. I had to stay in sort of straight and narrow, really. Because I'd done my parents, I just seen them, I fucking aged them. You do that when you're a kid, you're like, fucking, I really overstepped the mark. I've gone out of line here. And that was a bit of a...
That's the thing,
That's a reality check.
When you look back on it, it's like, okay, I got through that.
Yeah.
But what it did you start thinking about what it did to your friends and family then.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And then when you're in, Nick, I don't care what anyone says, when people say it's good, not good enough for them, they've never done jail.
No.
It's just brutal. Time slows down. Everything goes 4 times slower. You just think about what's going on the outside all the time. It's just an awful place. It's not, especially when you do, kid jail as well. I don't know, they keep them out of jail now. I don't know, they try to keep kids out till 18. They don't prosecute for anything anymore.
Yeah.
Because they know what, adverse effects it has on you mentally.
Yeah.
I had nightmares for ages, every night locked up, not like, I didn't get battered in there, but I got hit around enough to have more with the fucking screws than anything.
Yeah.
They're fucking gnarly back then, Borstal and fucking, they would smack the shit out of you. It was and then there was grown men fighting men. They weren't boys fighting men. There's a couple of kids in there, but they're like big 18-year-old grown-ass men in there. It was like a proper, to me, it was like a proper jail. But, fun times. But when I came out there, and I just appreciated, in a weird way, I appreciated the freedom when I came out at 14. I remember going home, my gran was crying, and my parents were pretty stern. My mum was especially. My gran was really hardcore, and she was just so stoked that I was out, and it made me appreciate things. I just definitely saw things from a different light when I came out. I just didn't take it so much for granted.
Yeah.
In a weird way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you totally, yeah.
Yeah. I did some fucking robbery of a skate shop. I remember my mother was like, no skateboards in the house. And it wasn't the skateboards, it was just me being a twat. So I couldn't allow, when you're 18, you can buy a skateboard. So I did a camera for my 18th birthday, and I went and bought a skateboard with my birthday money. They fry a surf shop down in Mummalls. Mother wasn't very happy, but that, again, then that kind of saved me then, because I was back on a skateboard, back with a different surf crowd.
Yeah.
Still had some friends in town that I hang out with, but more like the sort of punk rock alternative kind of crew. I left school at 16, didn't get a job. When Thatcher took over, was no work. There was just, you know, this fucking early 80s was definitely rough, like it is now in South Wales. It's a different fucking world compared to the rest of the, you know.
Yeah.
I went on that trip with Pritchard through England. It was like going through, you know, where's the vicar on the bike? Like, it's like fucking churches. And if you came over and you're American, you'd be, oh, this is quaint. But when you come down, when you go, you don't see it in Cardiff, but like fucking Swansea, you definitely see it. Probably you'd see it. It's just fucking
rough as fuck.
It's just fucking, just, you know. You won't, like, I go to town every day in Swansea, and you will not, something will happen, guaranteed, every day. If you take the route, something will be going on here. Something, every day, something will happen. Yeah. Something will come up to you, or you'll see something. Like, if you came over we have loads of students, like 30,000 students come to Swansea, and they must be like, fucking, what the fuck is this place? Like, you know, they all go out, they all party. It's a bit of it's beautiful. It's a good place to live, for sure. It's cheap. Yeah. Got the gallery, got some nice stuff there, but like the actual nitty gritty of it, the underbelly of it, it's not nice. No. It's definitely it's rough. And I'm in town all the time as well, so you kind of see that, and you just see the naughtiness of it when you're in the middle of it. You can't really get away from it when you're in it. No. Talbot's the same, Neath's the same, everywhere's, you know. I think it changes a little bit. Carmarthen, it wouldn't see the same. Llanelli is definitely rough. Yeah. But when you go into West Wales, it changes. Yeah. When you go into England, it completely changes. It's just like, fucking hell. You know, when you come into Talbot, you're like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. It's really, really gnarly. It changes because, like, you know. And then Mumbles and all the Gower, it's like the Shire down there, and like fucking, you know, beautiful. Talbot Swansea is like fucking Mordor. It's like crazy. Yeah. It is like the fucking Wild West completely. Seen, you know, like when you see some guys come down from they were like, oh, you know, we've been in London, we've seen fights. Yeah, I get it. You've seen fights in London, but it'd be like when the bar absolutely kicks off, when it really, there's a fucking hoedown in it, like, when the pub explodes. I've seen that like 3 times since I've been back. Yeah. And when I lived in America, 20 years, say 23 years, I really didn't see. I saw it kick off with cops, and I saw a lot of like trouble, more from the police side and the bullying the police side, being skateboarders, much like graffiti guys. You get busted all the time. Every day would be a run-in with police. But I didn't really like see it like, not like you. It's a different, like even New York, Philly, like rough for sure in areas. Chicago, fucking Memphis, just the South is rough for sure, but it still ain't got that, like, oh, I don't know. It's just hard to explain. Like, when you're in America, you don't see it, but when you're in Europe, well, you just like, you look at people, you're like, oh my God, he looks tasty. You just know when not to look, and you like, everyone's like fucking massive, yeah. Everyone's roided up. It's like a different, that was really been a hard adjustment to make, coming back from this like Southern California, like dream of a life, back to like, luckily I cash bought a little place in town, and luckily it's in a rough, kind of cracky area, not cracky area, but a rough area. And it's just, oh man, it's just been a bit, it's in the belly kind of, you know, and once you're in it, it is definitely, yeah. I've been fighting a little bit since I came back. I mellowed out a little. I got diagnosed bipolar. Don't want to sound like, but it all kind of like piled on top of me. And then because I wasn't in trouble since I was a kid, I just been like, fuck it. But I did therapy for all that. So I've done my therapy. I haven't done my therapy, that's ongoing. But I did learn to just stay. Now I just don't go in bars and don't go to areas. If I see someone say something, I'll be a walk away. If someone says something wrong to me, I don't even wait for the next thing. I just walk away. And if I see a fight, I walk away. I don't get involved in anything. Whereas before, I'd just be like, see red, the mist would come, and then you're fucked in, aren't you? You're out of the pubs, you're on the list. Everyone thinks you're ostracized because you're a twat. Yeah. And then everyone thinks, well, you're on like stayed out of jail because of bipolar, basically. And that'll be me. So it's been 3 years since it was institutionalized. So that's all been a bit. But I came back because when I was in America, it's like $3,000 a night to stay in hospital if you haven't got medical insurance. Wow. So it's expensive. And that's kind of a worrying on your mind as well. Yeah. So when I came back in the NHS, this guy, Mike Pettifer, who actually was a good friend of mine, he worked in Kevin Coyd. I kind of saw him and I kind of had a reality check then with him. You know, when you see someone you know, and I'm like, oh, I've kind of messed up. And he was on the inside. He helped me a lot with everything.
Yeah.
He's funny. He told me a couple of years later, he goes, this guy, Dr. Proven, I didn't really let the doctor get analysed all the time like that. And when you get analysed all the time, again, you kind of get sick of being analysed and talking about it all the time.
Yeah.
And he goes, got a guy in here at the moment, thinks he's a world famous skateboard photographer. My pet was like, well, actually he is. He is. He took my wedding photos. And then he's like, that's not surprising. We've got a bloke up there now who thinks she's Joan of Arc. So it's like, it's fucking, yeah, it's mad. But that's been really good too, that camaraderie, that pub culture that I'm sort of been, basically spoons in it, old men and spoons. That's just me now, become staying out of trouble, going down for a pint in the afternoon. Kind of go out now and again for the evening, but not a lot. I'll hit it big time if I do. Not big time, I like a night out. Swansea's just rife with that. Wine Street, all that area. It's just a fucking good laugh, isn't it?
Yeah.
The pubs are good fun. Yeah. Having a fucking pint with your mates, sitting down, having a laugh. It's just, yeah.
I don't drink a Barry no more.
No.
That's the one thing I've knocked on the head, and I've stayed out of trouble for 10 years.
Yeah.
I just have a drink in Cardiff now.
Yeah.
Because you kind of just like,
yeah.
You're not like you don't stand out.
No.
It's fucking under the net, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're just like,
yeah.
I feel a lot better just.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't go out in Cardiff, not for obvious reasons. Not like we fought a lot, but I'm always like, when I hear the accent, I just like automatically on defence, like, oh, fucking hell. I was up there for the Wales game. It was on a Sunday. And it was like, every train back to Swansea, people were like puking on the platforms. It was Wales, Australia or something. People had just been for the day, you know. Yeah. And it was like at least 20 police trying to like shuffle them all onto the train. And I was like, the cop was like, hey, not much changed, is it, over the years?
No.
Still get them on, get them off.
Yeah, get him back.
Get him back,
you know. So like, what age were you when you got into the skateboarding then?
I was 68 was the first sort of skateboard I started riding. That was when I was 4. I was born in 64.
How did you get in? Like,
because I used to skate in Swansea. We used to like cut roller skates up.
Yeah.
So people used to surf. Like skateboarding was started in America for people to practice surfing in like Santa Cruz and LA or Venice, Dogtown, Santa Cruz, all those beachy areas. Those were the main sort of manufacturing and advancements came from. And then, you know, like prop made trucks for skateboarding, proper wheels, urethane wheels. That was a big thing in the 70s when they made a proper plastic where you skate on concrete.
Yeah.
Before it was all clay, it changed the game completely. And then, like, when the 70s come around and like Skateboarder magazine, it was like, you know, like tube socks, beautiful sunshine. It was just, you know, and you could do it. It wasn't like surfing's hard to do. It's kind of impractical.
Yeah.
But you got a skateboard, and it was all I wanted to do was just be, you know, be like Tony Alva or Jay Adams, and all these photos. Even now, when you look at the 70s skateboard photos, they look brilliant at that time, you know, in the 70s. I think the 70s is just a good time to growing up. The music scene was really good. Punk rock came around when I was 12, and I kind of got the booze when I was like in a football team for like a year. And by the time I was 12, I was just like, fuck you all, fuck everything. I'm just going to listen to the Buzzcocks. And I missed I was in jail when the Buzzcocks played top rank in Cardiff. In Swansea, I was gutted about that. And that was another lesson. Like, I'm in Nick and the Buzzcocks are playing. And all my mates went to it, sending me letters. And I was just like, oh, you're not going to do this again. You're not going to miss these. You miss things as well, don't you, when you're inside as well?
Yeah.
Which you sort of forget about. But, yeah, so when punk rock came, that was a big thing. And then skateboarding and punk rock, that came hand in hand later with the hardcore skate scene, the American hardcore punk.
Yeah.
That was a big part of the skateboarding scene. That kind of went, there was like two subcultures went together. And then the hip hop scene kind of came into skateboarding. Same with the graffiti as well. Like graffiti and hip hop would go hand in hand. So I sort of went to the States in 89. It's kind of like when like De La Soul had come out, so we just got all those first albums because we were like much the same as graffiti. You kind of on the front line, so when you're on the street, you get the first music, then you get the Beastie Boys. Remember, like all the bands we used to go and see were like Chili Peppers, No New Divan, all these like saw Nirvana like 4 times.
Wow.
But I just jumped in the mix, and I wouldn't photograph. I did shoot some bands, but
Yeah.
if I liked the band, I would just jump in the mosh pit and have a night out.
So what made you first think, right, I'm going to America? Was it like just the skating, or was it the
Yeah, just the
photography?
photography, a bit of both. We got a job in a skate camp in '89. My friend Twist was working out there the year before. We got 6 weeks of work, and there was a big skate camp, and we went there, and we spent 2 months then. Skate camp was good skateboarding, but it was a bit, wasn't that good for me. I lasted a week, got chucked out. And then I was down in Visalia, which is like Northern California. Fuck, it was baking. I remember it was like 106 degrees in the desert. You know, you'd fry in this weather. It was like so hot. And then we did 6 weeks up there. It's just summer of '89. And then we did 2 months in San Diego and Encinitas. And it was just, oh my God, it was just like the perfect, every big crew of us, at least 10 of us were over there. Bought this big fuck off Lincoln car, driving around everywhere, just going up to LA, just staying with friends, just renting little apartments, just you don't realize at the time, but you are like living, you know, that's what traveling's about. When you learn so much when you travel as well. You learn. I spent like 6 months in Australia, and then I go every winter. I go to America, and I work for Rad, this magazine in Britain. This guy TLB was the editor. He helped me out and mentored me a lot, especially with like the computers, how editing worked. And then I started being an editor, photographer. Then I got a big job in Transworld skateboarding in January '94. I stayed there till 2014. Then I worked for Adidas for like 3 years. So that was like two jobs in like maybe 22-year period.
Wow.
Yeah, 16 cent. A long time in Transworld.
How did the work with Adidas come about?
Transworld was like, I was on my ass a little bit there. The media thing was going, social media was taking over, websites were going off, magazines sales, advertising sales were like plummeting. And these companies were like mega companies. They were getting floated around for like millions. You know, they were worth a lot of money back then. And then that was sort of the going downhill. I kind of got let go, fired. Got a job with Adidas and team managing, but that was like helping managing the global team, which is like probably like 20 people, but like maintaining another 50 on the side. Like a lot of like traveling, a lot of organizing, booking hotels, the back end stuff of how teams are met. But it was really good. I learned a lot. Headquarters was in Portland, so I'd be going. But it was like every week flying somewhere. There was a lot of traveling involved in, you know, whatever it was. There was either a trip or something needed to be done, presentations, you know, shoes for the next year, clothing for the next year, getting riders to and fro, all this. Really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really good stuff. But it was
So it's all based around the skating side.
Yeah, they had a really good program. They made some shoes, and they have a skater called Mark Gonzalez was really famous, and he's kind of like the older like main guy on it. They have a guy called Dennis Business who had a really successful shoe, and if you can like crack it with getting the right models in the shoes, and you sell a lot of shoes. And Adidas, I mean, the program, just the company suited skateboarding anyway.
Yeah,
and then that's how. But interestingly, looking, my friend Neil McDonald was doing a book on the history of British skateboarding, and we all kind of think that Adidas and Puma came from America in the skateboarding, which some of the guys were, but it actually came from Britain in the early 90s when the Gazelles, well, they were European companies, aren't they?
Yeah.
So the Gazelle was a big shoe. They had Superstars over there, but I don't think they had many Gazelles. So like people used to take Gazelles over for the American riders. When they came here, they used to go try and shop for the Gazelles, shop for Puma States. So it was like what I'm trying to say is the European scene, especially the London scene, is massively.
So that
influential, totally influential of what went on, and kind of everyone kind of thinks it comes from SF, but it actually didn't. It came from London. Just by the way, how do you get the shoes? You couldn't get the shoes. You know, the British.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it properly yet, but I would have thought the British would have put some of the first. And a shell toe would be 40 quid back then. A skate shoe back then was 80 quid, like a Airwalk or something. So you get two for one, basically.
Well, nice and
And they
short,
look
so-
great. And they,
Yeah.
you know, like the Shalto and the Gazelles and all those. Puma State used to be a massive one. Loads of people who used to wear the Puma State. It's funny, like certain shoes will catch on, and then
Yeah.
they're forever embedded in,
Yeah.
especially subcultures,
Yeah.
like the Shalto and hip hop and
Run DMC, yeah.
yeah.
I was doing
mad.
Run DMC had a lot to do with kicking Adidas back.
Yeah,
You know, they were like, I watched the Run DMC documentary, but they were going kind of downhill, really, Adidas. And then when they come out,
yeah.
it just all went back up in the air.
They
How
did
did
it.
you,
They did a show in Run DMC did a show in Madison Square Garden, and they were like, they're telling Adidas, like, we have a big Adidas following, like, you should sponsor us.
yeah,
And they were like, you know, the gym, and there's a lot of like walls to crack between, you know, it's not like you leave the cultural center of the world. It is in lots of ways, but it's not like the Germans aren't really at the forefront
they're not known for their fashion,
of the fashion or subcultures, especially.
Yeah.
And so they said, "I'll just come to the show tonight." We're playing in Madison Square Garden. So they're playing in the middle of the gig. This is not my Adidas as well. And they go, "Okay, we got some people in the crowd tonight from Adidas to come and see us. Can everyone really take off the shoe and hold them up?" And then everyone was wearing shell toes. You know, it was like fucking 5,000 people wearing shell toes. And then that's how they like famously,
yeah,
you know, gone on. That was super cool. It made a lot of like good, nice people through Adidas. Yashu, who was the boss, still friends with him. Got to meet some good personalities and like work with loads of really good, cool people.
How did you get so you've got an Adidas trainer named after you, haven't you? So what?
Yeah.
The Adidas skin, yeah?
Yeah, but the program was called Respect Your Roots. So at the time they surprised me with the shoe, and it was like just like a thank you for the photos or whatever. But I think I must have told a story, but it's a funny story. So there's this guy called Dennis Blisnitz on this program. They wanted to do a new shoe with him, and they couldn't quite get the shoe right. And in Adidas, there's 3 tiers of like financial support to a shoe. So there's gold would be Olympics, UEFA Champions League, and then silver would be underneath, and bronze. So I was just on bronze. There wasn't many shoes, like a couple of thousand, not many. But then because Dennis didn't like the shoe, they couldn't get the shoe, didn't go forward. That marketing money went to me, which is a lot of money. I went up to silver level on the side, and they were like, "What do you want to do?" Like, "Oh, we're the big premiere of away days. We went around the world doing these premieres before that, but I kind of launched it with these photo shows and promoted the shoes. So I was kind of like helping promote the video, but doing like a bit of my thing with marketing money that I had from, but that was in the bank. So whatever I want to do, we want to do. So we launched this. Wasn't the shoe? The shoe came out in like October, November. We did a thing in Swansea for that. That's just a funny story. So I used to be in charge of all the pre-orders, right? So I always used to like kind of overbook everything for like, so I pre-ordered my shoe, right? And I I don't know how many pairs. There was a lot, like maybe 100 pairs of shoes. There's 60, 70 pairs of shoes to Swansea. And I call my mum once a week, right? And she calls me up. She never calls me. She said, "Paul, shoes have arrived in the house. It's a little terraced house in Swansea." I'm like, "Oh, cool." I can't get out of the house. Boxes aligned, you know, it's like 70 pairs of shoes in there.
Yeah.
There's 20 boxes filling up the terraced house. So I called Mark. Mark went down, and then Mark distributed all the shoes. So still now I see everyone, like, I'm like, so many random people in Swansea like wear the shoe, like all sorts of, There wasn't that many made. But then jump to the launch of the next year. It's January. It's in Berlin. It's this massive. It's called Bright. It's a big like action sports festival, but it's like a clothing show. It's huge, like massive, 2 a year, I think. Just in Berlin, and they wanted to do something on the side, not in like a store. They wanted to do something to launch it, the video and the line. Some of them. So they sussed out this crane. There was a big boxed off crane building. It was basically a circular inside where the crane used to be, all brick building. like 200 yards square foot, and there was 3 layers to it. Bottom was a cafe, next to it was a restaurant,
Yeah.
and the top was where the floor of the show was, and they were launching all the, you see the new line, and there was a preview for the video. And then me and my boss, Yasha, we'd become friends kind of through football. Yasha supports Stuttgart. When I went to stay in Stuttgart, we went to see Stuttgart together. So we had this, our first kind of love was football. We talked more football than
Universal language of love,
skateboarding.
innit?
Yeah.
Football.
And Yasha was like a Stuttgart fanatic and a German fanatic. That summer they'd won the World Cup. I'm a big Man United fan. And Bastian Schweinsteiger would sort him to United, right? And that's when he came, and he fucking ate every pie in Manchester, and he put on weight. He was just, he's nothing like he was when he was in the World Cup, nothing like he was when he was in Bayern Munich. And 36 key accounts are in like Supreme, everyone, 36 key accounts in this launch now. And I'm doing a dinner talk, and, you know, they brought some wine over, 36 people, it's like a wedding. And Neil, my mate, who organised it all, meet everyone in the bottom. And this guy goes, Yasha goes, oh, this is so-and-so, he's from Bayern. I'm like, oh, bet you're a Bayern Munich fan, aren't you? He's like, yeah, I am. I said, you sold us a donkey, Bastian Schweinsteiger. And it means in German, pig climber, right? Steiger's climb. Yeah, Schweinsteiger. Steiger's climb, Schweinsteiger is German, Schwein is German, like Schweinsteiger, so it means pig climber.
Yeah.
You know, coming over to English. And then I said, the fuck, that pig climber, he was a donkey, did nothing for us. So sitting down now, 36 people, all in the there's a big screen up here. Neil's like, before Skin gets up and talk, we have a special surprise for him. Screen comes up, it's fucking Bastian Schweinsteiger. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. It's like, Skin, thank you so much for getting up 5 o'clock every morning in Carlsbad and watching the Manchester United games. We appreciate your love. Best of luck with all your friends at Manchester. From me, Bastian Schweinsteiger. I was like, oh my fucking God. So one guy in the audience was like, oh, you twat. And then I was just like, oh, thank you, Bastian. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Like, so careful, right? What you right around the corner. And then you can be like,
yeah.
I have a friend, I'm a drummer. That's my other thing too. We should go to this shop called LA Drum, Pro Drum in LA. And my son's a drummer. I have a son. He's 23 now, and Sam's a drummer in LA. He's a jazz drummer in San Diego. So that was our, like, one, not skateboarding photography, but drumming. And my friend worked at Pro Drum, and Keith Moon's drumstick came out, and he'd say, this guy, as a joke, he'd be like, oh, if you sell your pair of Keith, what's you going to smash up the room after? I heard he's making a comeback.
Yeah.
So he sells this pair of Keith Moon sticks to this woman. He goes, I heard he's making a comeback. He goes, oh, I'm his daughter.
Yeah. Okay, now.
Do you know what I mean? You can't. When we mention names, you can put your foot in it.
Yeah.
So many times. But I did learn early on, especially as in America, do not talk to anyone unless they talk to you. That's kind of like the hidden golden rule in Hollywood, or that you don't go, hiya, because it's just like they'll sign it, and it's got to be more. You got to, like, you know, I'd seen, but when I first went over, 95, 96, I was having dinner, I was having breakfast, and Matt Dillon was sitting there. And I was having my mate was like, don't look. I was like, it's fucking Matt Dillon, like, it's fucking Flamingo Kid. Like, how are we not going to look at Matt Dillon if he's sitting there and he's like, don't look at him. And I'm like, he's fucking right there. Like, how am I not going to look at him? But I didn't say anything, but the rule was, you know, don't say anything. But I did. I was in a green room once, and Chong from Cheech and Chong was there. He was a guest of honor. Yeah. And he was on his own. No one kind of clocked him. And I went up. I said, I just want to say, like, I work, you know, I'm skating, I work for Adidas. Just smoked a lot of pot when I was a kid, and I just pissed myself to your films. And he's like, oh, Brit, you? Yeah, we used to go to Britain. We went to Britain in 76. We were good friends with Britt Eklund. They used to live she used to live in fucking Malibu, probably, with Peter Sellers. So they were best friends with Peter Sellers. So Peter Sellers is like, come over for the summer. I'll pay you to come over. So Cheech and Chong go to fucking flying to Heathrow, and like it was probably like 76, 77 or so. And they go through customs, you go right this way, and they go down the side, and Peter said there's a white limo with a block of hash burning. Outside there's Peter Sellers with a block of hash waiting for him. But then that makes perfect sense then, that Peter Sellers smoked pot.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he have? You know, he was so, you know, introverted in the way. But then he, like, if you think, oh, Peter Sellers smokes weed. Oh, really? Does he? Not a surprise at all.
No.
But a good story. Yeah. And then he was like, I was like, what do you do now? Oh, I test bongs. That's what I do. That's his job. He's a bong tester.
Wow.
But he went down, the bush came on top of him. He did time for like... For
Chong,
yeah. Yeah, he did some time. They did low in that kind of Reagan war, the Bush war, drugs came down on him, and he did bird for like openly being, you know, okay with smoking, and now got marijuana in America, especially the West Coast. It's just
crazy.
It's legal. It's rife. The price of it just went, it plummeted. It used to be worth a lot of money. Now it's all in medical. It's all in pharmacies and all sorts of, you know, there's tons.
Did you ever spend any time with Howard Marks along the way?
No, I didn't. But I did. I was with Pancho's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Pancho spent a lot of time with him after the movie. And my friend Mackie, New Balance, have been helping me out recently. And Dave Mackie's got this shop in, he runs the marketing of New Balance, but he's got a shop called Lost Art in Liverpool. And he made these Biggie shirts. Did a few years this story, but he made these Biggie shirts. And Lost Art was just Biggie's face on it. And like Howard Marks used to call Pancho to go for a pint. They were like bros. He'd go down to Kenfrey Hill or whatever. He was like old, and they'd go to Glastonbury together. Imagine that, Pancho and Howard Marks in Glastonbury.
Fucking hell.
Flipping heck. And then they all like turn up. Some of the boys would like turn up with like, you know, gear for him, and he'd smoke. He's like, but because you've part like older skate, he adapted quite well because of the drugs and everything.
Yeah.
So Pancho's a great story. So Pancho's wearing his Biggie Smalls shirt, right? And then Howard's looking at him saying, Biggie Smalls? Who the fucking hell is Biggie Smalls? Pancho's like, it's Biggie Smalls. You know, Big Papa, Biggie Smalls. Fucking hell. It's Christopher Wallace. And my Pancho's like, how the fuck do you know? That's fucking Christopher Wallace. Well, I taught him English literature and drama. Oklahoma State Penitentiary, I think it was, can't remember. He was one of the good ones. And like him teaching him, like, I think something happened that Howard got out a little bit earlier because he was like adapting and teaching.
He was teaching a lot of Well, so
Howard Marks best hip hop as well, basically, isn't it?
So Howard Marks has taught Biggie Smalls English and drama in jail.
Yeah, literature in jail. Yeah, drama and literature in jail.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's made me love him even more. I fucking love Howard Marks.
Yeah. And that's not talked about. And then it's all, when you watch I watched that drama and like the thing, it's all missed out of what he did. Or suddenly he's in fucking Mallorca. He's a drug baron.
Yeah.
No one really knows what he did. And this, I didn't really like, because the American guy like got him. I mean, he did. It was like a double-decker bus full of hash that went in, didn't it?
Yeah.
On that ferry that they got busted for. You want like, you know, if you get done for an ounce, you go measure a double-decker bus load. It was tons, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You put tons of hash all the way from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Fucking into LA port, basically.
It was in one of the band's fucking speakers one. I don't know if that's just maybe in the film, but it was Led Zeppelin's fucking sound equipment or something. He was bringing it in as well. And...
Yeah.
Wow.
We had helicopters and submarines. He had to like negotiate probably like a travel agency of all these connections that he had, you know.
Yeah. I heard a guy talking about him recently, a guy called Roger Reeves. Brilliant life story, Roger. Guy over in America, but he said that Howard had grassed him up or something. Howard Marks got mentioned. He said, don't fucking talk to me about him. He got me 14 fucking years in jail. I was like, oh, fuck, you know.
Yeah.
But how true it is, I don't know, but...
Yeah. Because he went to Cambridge, and when he went to Cambridge, he looked like a teddy boy. Quite a good-looking bloke.
Yeah.
And his chat-up line was, would you like to come to bed with me? And all the women were like, I'm glad he did, you know. What a chat-up line.
Yeah.
Like,
fucking out of a boy.
Yeah.
fucking love him.
Yeah.
So how did you? So I know you were like skating, Swansea and stuff like that. So how did you get into like the photography, and how did you like manage to like combine the two then as a
Started
career?
off at 18, had a camera for my birthday, trial and error, a lot of stuff, couldn't get into college. Started making little zines. Eventually, like the color stuff got printed in magazines. So that was like a little bit of money here, a bit of money there. But it was kind of actually good money when it came in.
Yeah.
Learned how to do editorial packages in probably like 89, 90. And then once I got more kind of refined as an editor, that's when the money took off, the traveling. But then when I was an editor and a photographer at Transworld in San Diego, I pretty much, if you came out with me, we should shoot every day, then you guaranteed a photo. Either would go for an ad or the photo would go in a magazine. So it was kind of like win-win, for me and the skater, because they would get, back then there was no video had just started. We were doing a bit of that, but there was no like social. There was none phones. It wasn't even phones, as pages, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was all like a different world. So you could only actually see the progression of skateboarding really in the magazines back then. And now you see it every day on Instagram, and every trick, everything's brand new. But before then, it used to come up monthly.
SBS Salvage, South Wales #1 vehicle dismantler and car part specialist. Serving customers throughout the region for the past 10 years. You are sure to receive the very best price for your scrap or salvage vehicles. Just check out our websites, Scrap Car Cardiff or even sbssalvage.com to get an instant online quote. We buy all cars, vans, etc. Should you need any part for your car or van, then don't hesitate to call us, and our dedicated parts department will definitely be on hand to assist you. We also offer the very best prices for copper, brass, lead, aluminium and all other types of metals. Just give our friendly staff a call on 01446 421 034, Monday to Friday 9 to 5 or Saturday 9 to 1 to receive a price, or come down to our depot in the rear of the unit, 7 Redrup Business Park, Cardiff Road, Barry, CF63 2QW. We also don't just buy cars and sell parts. We also sell part-worn tyres at the very best prices at our depot on Robbins Lane in Barry, CF63 1QT. Call us Monday to Friday 9 to 5 on 01446 701 515, where we will assist you in any way we possibly can.
But I just kind of just wanted to just got into photography. Yeah. Kind of fell in love with it at a young age and just persisted at it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the early stuff is really like, it doesn't look good, it's underexposed, not for processed properly. It's not an easy thing to learn. Maybe today it might be a bit easier by looking at everything, but back then it was quite, I won't say secretive, but the combinations weren't, it weren't easy to learn for sure. It took a lot of it took 10 years basically to get up to par of what as good as what the American sort of photographers were doing. Yeah. There was some European photographers that were good, but the American ones, especially Grant Britton, he became my mentor when I watched. He worked as a photo editor. I just learned so much then by going in every day to the magazine and learning how to edit, how to shoot, how the light worked, how fill flash worked, reporting. You know what I mean? It was like a full on. But back then my job was more kind of more managing, more editorial, like the back end of the magazine, getting the magazine out on time.
Yeah.
Articles, columns, just like photo editing, and then copy editing, loads of time reading, loads of time. It's just a full time, never taking any time off really. Just fucking non-stop. And then it grew when I was there, when I went in 94, it was 94 pages. I shot Dustin Dolan kickflip cover. God, I think it was 430 pages. That was the biggest issue of a skateboard mag ever.
Fucking
I had the cover. It's massive. You should bring millions a month. You know what I mean? It was like a cash cow.
Yeah.
With the advertising, it was just this thing that was just kind of developed into like a beast. But then because of all that money and all that stuff coming in, there was consequences to that too. They were like, oh, we want another 15%. We want another 15%. I'm like, fucking hell. You know what I mean? It's like, and then when the bottom of it all fell out, it's like a house of cards. It just, it doesn't even really exist to the extent that it used to. That way it doesn't, it's nowhere near what it,
No.
it's just it's barely there compared to what it was.
Is there something online or?
Yeah, there's a site online,
Yeah.
but there's only like, God, the staff there was probably like 200 at one point. My staff was like 30, 40 people, 30 audition, but it was all, but it changed then when it kind of went corporate. So I saw the kind of corporate side of America, the New York. We were owned by New York. Is going to New York a lot, and that one nice. So you see that like the Harvard School and that whatever that Wall Street high life is. Like I was more involved in it, but I went there enough, to
taste it,
to see it, and I was involved in it. But I was just kind of there on peripheral, really. But I could instantly tell the way everyone were, the way they dressed, the way they talked. It was like a completely another upper class, like a London upper class. That's like it was all kind of, I won't say privileged, but it was pretty much the same year. It's pretty much a kind of a set routine to it,
Yeah.
Especially that Wall Street thing. And then when I was there when it all collapsed, when it all, when the Obama stuff, when all the prime mortgage thing collapsed, the whole system collapsed. Houses lost money, lost a quarter of their value within a couple of months. The whole system collapsed. It was pretty gnarly. That kind of recovered, but that was held on to it. But it wasn't one of the nice things to, to go in the red all the time is
dangerous.
Dangerous, especially when you got mortgages and stuff like that, and families and. It's all money. Then there's completely no safety net in there in America for you.
Yeah.
You need a lot of money to live there. I was talking to ex-wife. She said you need 140 grand just to live and pay a mortgage in Southern California, which is like 120,000 quid in another year per person. That's a fucking lot. That's a lot of money in it.
That's a lot, yeah.
My son was saying a litre of milk is like $14. It's like
Your
12 quid.
Have you got family out there?
Yeah, I got ex-wife out there. She's still in San Diego. My son, he's a jazz drummer. He does music out there.
What age were you when you met your wife?
Met Jill's from Swansea, so met her in 94.
Oh, she's Swansea girl.
Yeah, she's from Swansea, but she stayed out there. That was all good for a long time, and then it's just money in it. It's just the root. It's just money, and then when all of it became, I just run it. There's like so much. I just could not manage the money properly, and it just kind of all went bankrupt basically. But luckily, I cash bought the house back here. So even though I got no money here, I don't have the financial worry of owing like fucking 100 grand or 200 grand. Or I'm in the red for like 250 now on the house. It's all come back up, but it's like when you're like, man, that's not, that's not fun. And you can end up, especially when that collapsed, people ended up, kids in cars coming to school, sleeping overnight, people went seriously homeless. And now, my son's it's worse than ever over there. LA, San Francisco, like street corners, tents. It's really, food's really expensive still. COVID didn't help either. So it's been a bit of I think it's really, really, really expensive over there.
What's been your favourite place in the world to live?
To go to when I travelled?
Or just to live, or?
I went to Buenos Aires, was really good. Argentina.
Yeah?
Oh man, it's kind of wild west down there.
Argentina?
Yeah, Argentina. Because there's a massive Welsh colony down there.
Yeah, speak a lot of Welsh, don't they?
Yeah, speak a lot of Welsh, Patagonia, but they've got Welsh sections in
like the Falklands and stuff. I'm sure they speak Welsh here, don't they?
Yeah, they're everywhere. But the train line, it ended, the South America train line, which where all the British people went in. That's how soccer, football went to South America. It came from Britain, but it came on a train line. So all the main cities that the train line going through are like the hubs of world football. They don't play anything else out there. A bit of for Argentina, they do. The polo's big there. Rugby's big.
Yeah.
Brazil, it's just football. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They breathe it. It's like a different. You see it when you go to these places. Like all the photos, the places are like shrines. And I got see a lot of football with Adidas. So we went to see lots of really good stuff we saw. And but in Buenos Aires, there's like a real, like, you know, a guy would be like, oh, my grandfather's Welsh. You never ever get that, you know. There's a Swansea jersey in a local pub, and it's all like sort of all interconnected. It's mad.
Wow.
And the women are there, beautiful, it's colonial. It's just like, it's just like a different world.
So what we doing now? We're claiming Biggie Smalls and fucking Maradona now.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But funny enough, right, in Argentina, Maradona is not considered, he's not revered like he is outside. It's the captain who's revered. The captain's like a Bobby Moore down there. So the captain is like...
Who was that? Zinco? What's his fucking name? Leonardo maybe, or Zinco, or one of them.
All I remember was Campers.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Some brilliant Argentine players, man. You know?
Yeah.
I like McAllister now for Liverpool, to be fair.
Yeah.
He can't tackle for shit, mind. He gets fucking yellow card every game, but he's good linking up the play and that. He's been a good addition to the side. Like,
Here's a good question for you. Good football question.
Go on.
Who's the only Welsh-speaking footballer to score? This is before we qualified for the World Cup to score goal in the World Cup.
Carlos Tevez?
No, good shout though.
Mascherano?
No, a little bit earlier than that.
Argentinian.
Played in Italy. Unstoppable in his day, striker. As soon as you got the ball, he'd score.
What? Oh, it's fucking on the tip of my tongue.
Starts with a B.
Batistuta?
Yeah.
Wow.
Made his international debut when he was 17. When Wales came over, Wales were on tour. Wales youth team were on tour.
Yeah.
Does anyone speak Welsh? Yeah, I do. He's 17. His first international game was against Wales in Argentina.
Fucking hell, we're claiming Batistuta. I was born.
Yeah. Batistuta. We'll have campers as well while you're out there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, fluent.
We could have had them playing for fucking Wales.
Yeah, we could have.
If they had a bit of fucking Welsh bloodline in them, they could have, like...
They definitely... Well, if you could speak Welsh, you definitely got Welsh bloodline in you.
Why ain't the Welsh squad actively looking into fucking Argentina? Go over there and have a look.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Get some scouts over in Argentina. Anybody got fucking bloodline? We've had fucking Vinnie Jones and that.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Wow.
Yeah, some tasty players over there too. Well, that's all they play, and it's just like...
Yeah.
They're fiery as well. Oof, just... Yeah. But it was like, it did see gnarly stuff in Argentina, but it's just like the poverty level there is just like a different world. Like Mexico poverty is just like fucking, when you see that kind of like street, you know, people, women on the prams sleeping rough with babies, and it's not like, you know, it's definitely like the Wild West, and it's fun down there, but it's just when you know.
Yeah.
Because when we were skateboarding, we would always go out to these remote spots to get photos. These skate spots could be anywhere. Kind of went on a tourist line.
Yeah.
We'd end up in fucking God knows where, and you'd be like, oh, you know, lots of times we'd be in scary situations, you know, touch wood. Like it did happen, but once it didn't happen, it did happen, but we survived. But it definitely gets kind of hairy, especially South America. It gets really really hairy.
Life's cheap out there, isn't it? Yeah. And they're fucking wild as well, like, you know?
Yeah. I remember once we were there, I can't remember who we were there with, but we were like, you had to go out with an armed guard every time. And the only people that were allowed to carry guns were cops and ex-cops. You had to go out with a cop.
Yeah.
The only people who had a license, no one had a license there. And then one morning we go on the spot, there's no armed guard. And I'm like, look, I'm not leaving without the guard. Call the guard, get the guard, we're going to go with the guard. And we end up in this plaza, with these kids all sniffing glue and whatever, and they were all, and then like probably like 20 of them come over on us. There's only like 5 of us, and then like as soon as they come over, guy comes up, shows the gun, and like the 20 kids like back off. But it's like, oh my God, you know,
Yeah.
don't get me mention about guns in America. It's just rife over there. People have like multiple guns in garages, like arsenals. It's like fucking World War III, you know what I mean? It's just, and I never, you know, touch wood, had guns or kept guns, didn't like it. But, it's scary. It's really scary over there.
Did you ever spend any time with Tony Hawk?
Yeah, me and Tony, good best friends.
Yeah.
No. No, we are friends.
I was thinking,
We are friends, but the Grant, who was my mentor, he was like Tony's photographer.
yeah,
And the kind of the spoken rule is once you have a crew, you don't really like step the line to get you don't, you know, you won't call Tony and say go and shoot photos. That's Grant will shoot photos with him. I would video, so I did a lot of video of Tony, quite a bit of Tony, and then I shot him later on quite a bit. I shot his doubles photos with him. That was really good. Never went on tour with him. Went around the house a couple of times. Did like a cribs, like an MTV, like a cribs thing we used to do, and
Yeah.
But he's super nice, like really humble, really business-like, really kind of like how you see him is, you know, how he is. He's funny too. He's quite, he's a good boy.
Have you got, if you personally got like a photo that's kind of iconic to the scene, something we can like all reference after the?
There's a cover photo. There's two. There's one, the first super ramp that Danny Way did. I got the cover of that. That's one of the sort of famous covers I did. And there's another one of Josh Kalish at the Golden Gate Bridge, with the Golden Gate Bridge in the background. That's kind of like one of the say cell prints. That's one of the photos that gets called for a lot.
Do you know when you've taken that photo? You fucking yes, I got something good. Yeah, straight away.
I got picked for the cover straight away. That didn't really happen to me often. It was a couple of times I went in and they were like, right, that's going to go in instantly on the cover. So that was one of those times, which is nice. You know, to get the cover was a big thing. It was only 12 a year.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And that's been, it's sort of, some of them stood the test of time, some of them haven't. Because of all that photo, maybe 2%, 3% of it is usable. Maybe 3 photos on a roll of 36 to get the time in. And, back then. So it was a lot of wasted film. But,
So what are you up to now? What's like your day to
doing
day?
some stuff. I did a big show in Swansea in the summer in the Glenvivian Arc area. That went really well.
Yeah.
New Balance helped me out with that. Then I went to Madrid with New Balance for just a premiere. That worked out good. I did a shoot for New Balance for Lost Art up in Liverpool with Mackie, and now I'm going to Copenhagen for an event on Monday till Thursday. So they've been like flying me out, taking me some places. So that's been really nice. I've been there slowly, kind of because of the bipolar, and I kind of like really weary of going.
Yeah.
After lockdown too, so I went to London a couple of times. I found it really like claustrophobic.
How bad's the bipolar, and how do you cope?
Just like constant.
Everybody says I'm fucking bipolar, but I haven't been diagnosed yet. So I'm like,
the depression is easier to deal with because you just go to bed for a week and you can shrug it off.
Mm.
The manic one is hard because you can't sleep, and that when it comes on brutal, you know you're in it. It's really hard to get out of it because you can't get out of it. When I came back though, they put me on lithium, and I turned to the doctor, the social work. I got a social work. I'm still in the social services, which is really good. I mean, thank God for the NHS.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I'm on all my artistic go and my drive. It's just everything's gone. I got no fucking 3 hours on the couch in the morning looking at the fucking ceiling. I can't even get to bed. She's like, oh, that's because you're on, you're on like 800 millimil of lithium a day.
lithium, yeah.
I'm just like, I just got to stop. She said, you can't, they want you medicated. This was probably like 2 years ago. I just stopped taking the medication, did therapy. That was really good. And now it's just like a constant, it's just in the back of my mind, like constantly always there, something I think about, like always and never. I was in denial for a long time about it. And now I just I kind of I know when I'm manic. I know when I'm depressed. That's been grumpy, it is.
Yeah.
But I'd be I'll go in real down on myself, really kick yourself in the teeth, you know.
Mm.
But you learn more when you sort of become more aware, especially in the, like some people like crave for the manic episodes, because the manic episodes like take you into a euphoria, into this like enlightened kind of phase.
Yeah.
But you lose all sorts of fucking track, like thinking I'm Jesus, thinking I'm this and that. Like you fucking like proper like out there, get him in, get him drugged, and like, stop it.
Yeah.
And then you put other people in danger there when you're thinking irrationally. But then I kind of like know when that, you know,
Do you know what is coming on?
sort of,
Yeah.
because I've sort of, yeah, I do, yeah.
Wow.
By thinking about it all the time and being there. But I think like, it's like 1 in 1,000 people are bipolar. That's like, it's quite, if you think about it,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
quite, it's
not fucking.
it's quite a lot of people. So
Yeah.
there's 250 bipolar people in Swansea, you know, there's like, yeah. But I think there's 3 different, you know,
Stages
to it too. But I do think, part of me thinks that it's like actually maybe like a bit of a natural progression of the way maybe it should be. Like people, my theory was like the bipolar was the 2 polar opposites, and bipolarization is polar sunglasses is to phase it into one.
Yeah.
So part of me thinks bipolar is kind of a normal way to be, not an abnormal way. These kind of crazy mood swings, these crazy, it's like autism and all these new modern things, the modern diseases or whatever you want to call them, that are mental, that were never before.
No.
You've just had things chucked at you when you were a kid,
Yeah.
when you were paying attention, when you're looking at the school window.
You're just a naughty fucker.
Now he's got ADHD, now he's got autism, now he's got this, now he's got that. And I think all those new mental illnesses, or whatever you want to call them, those are results of modern society.
Yeah.
Like social media, computers, that has not helped
No.
with brains and the way we think about everything. It's like, tick, tick. Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
But when I left school in 1982, I worked as a photographer, and I saw like autistic people like back then, and that was like, I just couldn't believe all the photographic memories of people I had in a way. So I kind of knew it has existed for a long, you know, a while, but they can't. And I would encourage this. If you fucking feeling whatever, just go and talk, get help, go and, you know, it's a cliche, but if you can just, especially if you're having like suicidal thoughts, so you're thinking like, this is it, it's not the end, and you can fucking, you know, a bad thought can be another bad thought, or one thing can happen to you, like fucking, you know, a parent will die, or and then something else, your missus will leave you, and then fucking hell, you lose your job. There's 3 momentous things that could have happened to you within a year.
Yeah.
And then you're fucked. You can't get out of that system then.
No.
So a lot of it is victims of circumstances, like, but you know, there is help there, especially within the NHS. You know, you can sort of get by. Well, I don't really work anymore, so I can't really work. But I have terrible ADHD. Like, cannot keep attention, can't keep focus. You know,
yeah,
I'll go fucking bonkers in a pub when I'm on one. You know what I mean? Like, it's too. Usually, I'm quite quiet and reserved, but I will. You see these, and everyone's like, "You are fucking bonkers." And I'm like, "Yeah, oh, no, I'm not." Boo! You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely do.
My mate, I won't mention his name. He's like, "You still nuts?" I put some paint over a wall. So we say a pub. So it's either like, I'm either going to hit you or I'm going to paint you, basically. So I painted this pub. It was a bit of a thing. And my mate was like, you still nuts. I was like, what about me? What about me? And it's my friend, I won't tell you his name, but we used to go to the vets together. And the vets was down like 10 minutes walk from my house, right? It was right. I was in the Sandfields. I lived at the top of the Sandfields. The vets was in it.
Yeah.
So we used to go to every football game together. And back then, they used to have Welsh internationals down there. And it was this Welsh international on a Tuesday, but it was Welsh youth international playing England, right? And we used to have a con club was by the side of us, like, and it was the flag was half-mast because someone died. And my mate was like, I'm having the flag. I said, go and get the flag. Go and get the flag. So he gets his British Union Jack. We go down and puts into his pissing down in rain to the middle of winter. It's like a Tuesday or Wednesday night. puts the flag in his pocket, goes to the back of the North Bank. Back end of North Bank used to have metal sheets in the back of it, and all the like kids used to go up, stand up, and then kick the back of the sheets to create the noise, and stand up because you couldn't see, but you could stand up on the back kind of and like kick the sheets. So half time, my mate's like, and go in. I'm like, go on, son. He runs down the front, jumps on the fucking pitch, you've got British Union Jack flag in Wales, playing England in the youth cup or some youth team, ties it round his thing like a cape and starts going round the vetch half time, right? Stewards are coming on, they can't catch him, and everyone's like, boo, boo, boo. All the North Bank are going, ooh, puts the flag on the centre spots, puts it in the mud, starts jumping on it. North Bank's going mental, runs back, jumps over, and within 5 minutes he's up by me, and I'm like, oh mate, that was so impressive.
Fucking legend.
Because you should be able to get on, didn't you, and get off, and he couldn't catch you. You could do, it was all sorts of shenanigans you could do.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
You know.
But that stuff like that, like, kept you going, didn't it? All the naughtiness, all the things you could do.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it was just kids being kids, basically. But it was just, the shit we used to get away with and the stuff we used to do. You know, come in when the lamps are on, come in. So your clock would be when the lights were on, no watch. Yeah. It was just out stinking.
Yeah.
Bath every Sunday after your nan, you know what I mean? It was like...
Dude, last night, me and the boys were like, fucking... Like, my nipper, he don't want to go out, like. But like, that would be the worst punishment ever.
Yeah.
If they said to me, my mum and dad, you are fucking in.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm fucking out.
Yeah.
I'd be out the
the
fucking bedroom window, the attic window, I'd be gone.
Yeah.
You'd like keep me in. They could have said, you can have every fucking Nintendo, buckets of ice creams, but you got to stay in. I would have said, nah, I got to go.
Well, that must be really tough. I also, if it was COVID and kids, my kid didn't have any rites of passage. You had no ceremony when he left school. You had no graduation, no ceremony when he got his degree and all that. It's all those little things. There's no like boys and girls relationships aren't the same. I don't know if you've ever been to a pub out lately, but like all the boys sort of sit over here, the girls kind of sit over here. So we see a lot of students together. It's never like. They don't mingle anymore. They've just been like, because of COVID and the way people socialise now. Yeah, it's like two. They're
probably just texting each other.
Yeah, it's just mad.
It is mad. It is fucking mad. So, Skin, man, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Like, what a conversation.
Yeah, it was good fun. I enjoyed it.
Like, what an amazing life. Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.